Hello everyone, welcome back to another live stream. In this one, we're gonna do some more Rotom breeding, and I have a whole layout here for Rotom, the exact Rotom that I am aiming for. And so here are some type advantages and weaknesses that you can also take a screenshot of if you're interested. So we got these two graphics. And then, yeah, I went over a lot of details when it comes to breeding yesterday in yesterday's live stream, which was part 1 of this project. And the thing with that is I went over a lot of details in terms of what the odds are for getting various high IV Rotoms. And Rotom is one of the most difficult Pokemon to breed in this game, and so it is something to be aware of. And some community effort can be greatly, appreciated and helpful. Hey Jade, welcome to the live stream. It's great to have you here. Christian, hey, welcome to the live stream. It's great to have you here. So yeah, I calculated on average that it takes around 83 minutes to get a... No, that's not the case. 45 minutes to get a single 5 IV Rotom. So we'll just keep going and then see if we can get a couple. I have already promised 4 people a perfect bold Rotom, and I need one for myself, and so we'll likely be doing some more breeding tomorrow. And then depending on how well this live stream goes, then tomorrow, then maybe we are done by Wednesday night and we can start training the Rotom. And then I suspect that I'll have to wait until the weekend to have a couple battles using the Rotom. And then the new schedule for that is I have live streams on Monday through Thursday. And then on Fridays, I just upload all the battles that I've had throughout the week in bulk. And so you'll have a lot of videos to watch then. So when you get the Rotom that you desire, what EVs are you going for? That is a great question. So if we hop over to the layout and I can pop out my hand, you can see that the red color here corresponds to HP. The orange corresponds to the orange, yellow to defense, special attack, special defense, and speed. And so when it says 31 here, it is perfect in terms of IVs. And when you see the X here, that basically means random. Konnichiwa, konnichiwa, Gigoru Stomp kun. Okay, so yeah, the X means random. If I would have wanted a 0 speed on the Rotom here, let me see if I can actually bring that up as we speak, because I do have a moveset for Slowbro. Give me 1 second, I can see if I can find it. It should be pretty close by. Here we go. Yeah, so you can see here for my Slowbro, I do not want a single point in the speed, so 0 IVs in speed and 0 EVs, relaxed nature, which is negative. So you really just want to be as slow as possible, as you are the Slowbro. How's the stream going? Just started, but I'm excited that you're here. Okay, let's hide the Slowbro and go back to the breeding. So I just said that I suspect that we'll need today's live stream and tomorrow to really get all the Rotom. So I've promised Greaseball, Giggle Stomp, Dr. Fail, and Rommel a bold Rotom, and then I need one for myself. So I'll go for, well, I already have a bold one. I kind of forgot that I have a perfect one hiding in the daycare. You're asking if Rotom can no Calm Mind. I doubt it. I think we would have seen that way more if that was the case. It does have access to Nasty Plot though, but I'll look it up for you. But yeah, if it has Calm Mind, I'd be super surprised that I haven't seen it a single time. Let's see. Yeah, no, it does not get Calm Mind. That would have been pretty scary. Yeah, so good moves on the Rotom is, you know, you got Thunder Wave. Reflect is a real good one. Volt Switch, you see on pretty much every Rotom. There was a while where Will-O-Wisp Rotom was a big deal. Nasty Plot is pretty good. Thunder Wave. Dark Pulse is a good alternative for just a solid stab. And then obviously the special moves, so if you have Rotom Wash, you kind of want Hydro Pump and so on. But yeah, how are you all doing today? Are you playing some more Pokemon? Any projects that you're up to? If you need to borrow the 3 IV Ditto I used to make that timid Rotom, let me know. You're making me a Rotom after all. It does get Nasty Plot, yeah. Oh yeah, I'm aware because I know that Greaseball used it against me, and I have seen Nasty Plot Rotom before. But oh man, if it had access to Calm Mind, that would have been nasty. It still wouldn't have any sustain, so you would kind of have to just slap a leftovers on it, but either way, a 252 HP, 252 defense, bold nature on the Calm Mind Rotom would be scary. I mean, let's just bring up the calculator, see what the differences are in terms of odds. Mario Kart. And then I assume it does not have perfect attack, so it's like perfect HP defense, special attack, something like that. Oh, I forgot to put in the 5 IVs. So it said, you get this Rotom, 1 in 1 eggs, 100% of the time. So yeah, 1 in 20 eggs. I mean, if you don't use it currently, then that could be fun. I just finished a Typhlosion and now I'm working on a Weavile. Alright, good luck with that. Those are some cool Pokemon. Doing well, breeding a 5 IV Starmie for a new team. That's going to be interesting. How has the analytic Starmie worked out? I thought you... I don't know. Analytic, then you have to be slower. And so given how fast Starmie is, I'm surprised that you would get much use out of that unless it's Focus Sash or something. But even then, it only works once. And so, yeah, I wonder if maybe Natural Cure with the counter to, I don't know, Breloom, because you can fall asleep and then switch out and be good. But that's great. I'm glad you're doing well. My Ditto is defense, special attack, speed. Whoa, that's a really good Ditto. I'm working today. If you need to borrow it for a few days, it's fine. Analytic Starmie has been a beating. It forces a lot of switches, so you get the boost that way. Oh, all right. I had no idea. Quick Feed Earthstring is too risky if you use a Flame Orb. Your attack would get crippled if you use Poison Orb. Then you'd be killing yourself. Actually, it's not Toxic Poison with a Poison Orb, I'm pretty sure. No, wait, it's Toxic Orb. It's not Poison Orb. Natural Cure Starmie is better for defense stall teams for comps where you really need... Yeah, I just didn't know that you get the Analytic when your opponent switches out, in which case, that's amazing. So I just didn't know. But that's cool, though. So, Giggle Stomp, you wanted to trade, huh? Let me see if I got something for you. Did we talk? There were a couple people I was supposed to trade with earlier. It just didn't happen. I don't think you were one of them, but... Okay, we got another 4 IV. I'll just drop that down there. Let's see. I had a little bit of a problem in terms of space here the other day, so I had to just drop them down there. Okay, so I got four IV Rotom, and the rest of these are just to be released. The only way to use it is if you use Choice Scarf and hope to get paralyzed. I mean, I have battled... Wait, you are the one with the Earth String, aren't you? I feel like I gotten slapped many times. Okay, so I'm gonna post a trade request. In the Discord. Or rather, you have been so kind to give me a trade request first. Okay, just give me anything. We can trade back in a few days. Yeah, that sounds good. So long I'm not asleep, you can have it back anytime. There we go. There he is. Now the question is, should I drop off the eggs in a different box and start anew? Feel tempted. I mean, I have to hatch them at some point anyway, but I suppose it's always fun to hatch a couple more Rotom. Because they're so useful. Okay, so Giggle Stomp sent over the Ditto. Thank you very much for that. I'm going to take good care of the Rotom. I mean the Ditto. Now let's breed some more. Where can you find Rotom? Because I found my shiny Rotom was hacked. I got it from my cousin. Guess I can't trust my... Yeah, when it comes to Pokemon, you cannot trust anyone. It's just the way it is, unfortunately. Which is why the Discord is set up the way it is. Because then, at the very least, you can have a little bit of a filter from players who don't know what they're up to. Oh yeah, sometimes that really gets me. Because all other Pokemon go automatically in the first box. Except the daycare. The daycare is some weird thing. Okay, so this is the Ditto from Giggle Stomp, and what's great about this Ditto is it's got one more perfect IV than mine, and it has a different OT, which means, oh man, I can't help it. Sorry, Giggle Stomp, getting marked. Okay, so I'm actually gonna put these eggs here. Yeah, that's what I thought. Shoot. Wait. 4 IV should be like 1 in 5. Yeah, but Yeah, I did the calc. It's 1 in 20. For 4 IVs, actually. You keep them. Why? There's no reason to. It's interesting you mark your perfect IVs in blue. I marked them in red. Yeah, well, you see, traditionally, the marks are blue. So if you go back in time, all the marks are blue. And then they added a second color in Sun and Moon, I believe, which was the generation where they introduced hyper training. So naturally, I have decided to use red for 0 IVs and hyper training. Alva, I need to find a 4 to 5 IV Ditto because I don't have one, so I need... Give me 1 second. But yeah, let's see. Celesty, I recommend you to take a look at my video description, read a little essay that I put in there, and then get back to me about what you think about it. Matteo, shiny hunting Chansey right now. Ooh, you're on 27 chain. Keep it up. Yeah, well, that's the problem. See you later. Okay, we got the first egg here from Giggle Stomp's Rotom. We can take a look at the box system to see that we have everything correct. Yes, we do. It's a slippery slope, and it'll affect your speed at getting Pokemon that are not hacked. Gives a competitive advantage. That is correct. And yeah, honestly, I am a little trigger happy when it comes to banning people, but honestly, it's because if people have that kind of mindset, they're not interested in taking a look at the video description and spending 2 seconds thinking about what they're doing, then I'd rather just push them away early. Wow, we're getting a lot of eggs here with this Ditto. That's amazing. Oh, Jade, I would recommend you to take a look at my how to breed without 5 IV Ditto video, which is on the bottom of my channel homepage. You can also just search for it, I suppose, see if you can find it. I wonder if it's also listed in the video description, if I'm not mistaken. But yeah, the thing with Ditto is it's incredibly hard to get proper Dittos in this game. Only 5% of chains, so not encounters, but chains, make it to 40, which is when you get a guaranteed 3 IV Pokemon. And let's see. Yeah, I got completely sidetracked. Yeah, so at 40 in chain, you get a single 3 IV Ditto. And to make it to 40 in the chain, you're probably looking at a couple hours of gameplay because it really... if I exit the garden does the chain break because I ran out of false swipe? Yeah, I do believe so. I mean, I broke in the chain by simply going on my bike. And so, yeah, if you exit the area, I think that's it, my man. So what you actually want to do in terms of preparing for it is you want to bring some of these berries right here. They're called Lepa berries. A berry to be consumed by a Pokemon. If a Pokemon holds one, it can restore 10 PP to a depleted move during battle. So that's what I would recommend. I'm pretty sure it's like a 24-hour time window on that. So you just head over to one of these places, plant a Lepa berry, put some water on it, and then 24 hours later you got a bunch of Lepa berries. And the sprinkler key item is inside the flower shop. You just talk to the lady on the left when you go inside. Bike breaks the chain. Changing areas breaks it. You can leave the bushes, but you can't leave the map. That is correct. There is no place for cheaters among us. Yes, I know. I said it. You can all say sus now. Also, can you can save, but you can't load a save file. Yes, it's pointless to save. Okay, I was just lied to then because I was told 4+ chains gives you a guaranteed 4 IV Pokemon. I made that mistake early on. I don't know how I did it, so that may be my fault, to be honest. Because I was under the impression that a 40 chain gives you 4 IVs because it's been like that for many generations. All the way back to Sun and Moon, you've had a way in the game to find reliable 4 IV Pokemon. And so when they increased the difficulty, made it so that you have a 7% chance of breaking your chain by not doing anything wrong, and then to give you a 3 IV Pokemon at chain 40, there was something there that just didn't connect. It was so obvious that you get 1 IV at 10, 2 at 20, 3 at 30, and 4 on 40 that I was completely blinded by it. So yeah, if it was my bad, then I'm really sorry. It felt like a real letdown too when I realized it, because it was such, like, getting 4 IV Dittos, if that was the way to go, I would not have had any problem with it. And I mean, thankfully, ShotBot GG came through and found the calculator where we can actually figure out the odds for Ditto and all that. And so even with 3 IV Dittos, like, if you have a couple, you just, have 2 or 3 Dittos with 2 to 3 IVs, and you're pretty much set. And then, yeah, that's the other thing. 41 guarantees nothing. And so overall, this game is, in my opinion, it has a really decent balance in terms of difficulty. You cannot just get everything all at once, even if you want to, even if you put in all the effort you want. And so it really does require you to have a couple friends to play with if you want to get to a high level early on in the game. And so do I just reset Pokeradar till get shiny grass because I'm a chain 30? I don't remember the odds off the top of my head, but let's see. Because I've been interested in just the chains for the IVs, Let's see if I can find. Okay, here we are. If you're at chain 30, then you have a 1 in 1310 chance of finding a shiny. So 1300 divided by 4 is 325 resets on average. And then let's say We can divide that by 2. Because you manage to do 2 resets per minute, something like that. And then you're looking at 162. And so if we divided that by 60, you're looking at 2 hours and 45 minutes of resetting at chain 30. So it may be worth it to just use a couple quick balls or something. If you only want shinies, you can even reset a 10 chain, but 30 is a good spot, I think. Yeah, I mean, a shiny is a shiny, I suppose. And so 307, what was it? 325 resets. Doesn't seem too much to ask. Hey, Select. It was my birthday 2 weeks ago, or my Nirth day, if you will. All right, thank you for dropping by, and happy belated birthday. Hope you had a great day. Yeah, that's funny. Happy Nirth day. My Nirth day is really coming up soon too. Okay, so all of these Rotom were using my Ditto. Pretty close, huh? Not close enough. When I get to super, or 20 super repels left, I'm gonna go for 40 chain. Yeah, keep it up. I'm finally going to 100% 5-star the OG Diamond as I finished my Battle Tower team. And I'm also going to do the same on Brilliant Diamond Shining Pearl as my Battle Tower team is ready to go for that 100 win streak. That'd be amazing. If you manage to pull that off, then let me know. I want to hear about your experiences. Because if you make it to 100 win streak and the Battle Tower, you've seen some stuff. How old are you turning, Nirth? I am turning 24. But yeah, the thing with breeding and Ditto is you don't really need the Dittos. There are a couple Pokemon that does require it. Some male-only Pokemon such as Tyrogue and Tauros. But for the most part, there are really, really, really few Pokemon that absolutely require you to breed it with Ditto. Because they're genderless or male-only. And so, I mean, 2 to 3 Dittos with 2 to 3 IVs is not too much to ask for. Because the thing is, once you get a single 3 IV Ditto, like the one that Giggle Stomp let me borrow, and you just keep at breeding a genderless species, then at some point you're going to get that 5 IV. And once you get the 5 IV and can combine it with a 3 IV Ditto, then the rest is a piece of cake. Like, I have a 1 in 20 chance now for getting another perfect Rotom, and that's even better than most hidden ability breeds. Because, like, even if you have two perfect parents and you need the hidden ability, then yeah, you can be really, really, really unlucky. The only 3 I really wanted were Metagross, Starmie, and Rotom, so I could live without them, but once the Ancestry was done, I had some extra time on my hands. Yes, so that was my other point here. The Ancestry is the way to go in Pokemon Brilliant Diamond and Shining Pearl, and that is easy. It does take a while, and you do need a couple friends to pair up with, because it can get a little grindy at times if you want to do it all on your own, which is still perfectly possible. Because it turns out that the fossil Pokemon give you 3 perfect IVs, and there you go. You just get a bunch of fossils, reset for, well, they are 7-to-1 ratio male to female, and so you're kind of good there. And then you just reset for the different combos that you want. Like, you have perfect HP, attack, defense, and then you just need one other that has perfect special defense and speed, and then one overlapping. And at that point, you can just find a female in whatever egg group is in the same as the fossil. You can piece those together and end up with a 5 IV female, and then keep going for the 6 IV male. And once you have a single 6 IV Pokemon, it is incredibly easy to just bounce from one egg group to the next. Because the thing is, you don't even need a 6 IV another time, really. Like, if you just want to go for the long game, then I do recommend you to just go for the 6 IVs in at least a couple key egg groups. Because the thing is, once you, for example, have a 6 IV Bidoof, then you don't really need to go for the 6 IV in the water one as well. And so you can then figure out if there's a different Pokemon that you want that has 2 different egg groups that you can kind of sneak through somehow, and then just be a little bit strategic about it. But that seems to be too much for the majority of people, which is a little bit unfortunate. But yeah, let me see here. I got the breeding map right here. I have a video on my channel where I presented this, and there is also a link to it in the video description. But essentially, you can just use egg groups and Pokemon that are in multiple egg groups, so that all Pokemon in the field and water 1 egg groups can be bred using a Bidoof, and then just connect to the rest of it. I did the annoying way and caught 6 different Bidoof that had 1 of each IV individually, and did that to start the tree. Yeah, well, I mean, if you have power items, that's not really a problem. Because once you have 2 IV Pokemon, then, so yeah, the thing is, if you have power items, that's no problem, like, at all. Because Ditto has, I don't know. I'm always wondering, no, it would take too long. But yeah, I mean, now that we know the fossils are guaranteed 3 IVs, then yeah, you do recognize it's a little tedious to go with the Bidoof with 1 IVs. But yeah, I mean, if you have 6 different Dittos, or I mean Bidoof, with a good, you know, setup with the genders and all, then it's just to use 2 power items and get a specific gender with 2 IVs. You do the same for 2 different Bidoofs. Do that, breed until you get 4 IVs, and then you have the last 2 IV set of parents that you combine. And so, yeah, the power items, really, really good there. Nirth, if you're going for a physically defensive Rotom Wash, your biggest threat is special grass type moves. Yeah, it's my only weakness. And so I don't really care about that. I'm considering getting a Latias at some point. And so I think the special grass type moves won't be a problem. At this point, you can probably get 5 IV female rejects in the Discord and skip the fossils, but fossils are a good way to go from scratch. I didn't know about the fossils. Yeah, I got it in my comments on YouTube, so that was really nice. Hey, you got the shiny. That's amazing. Congratulations. Let's go. No gimmicks. The meta and the greater achievements to get a team are all great, but the graphics, movements, chaining, bug, plus more. I've been doing thousands of hours like I thought I would. Gen 4 is my favorite. Sword and Shield polished graphics and some of the mechanics, but Gen 4 gameplay would be the best. Don't let the negativity get to you, my man. If you really love Sinnoh and you really give these games a chance, I think there is a very, very good chance that you will have a great time. The thing is, with Pokemon, in my opinion, you will only have as fun with Pokemon as the average person in your friend group. And so if you don't have particularly optimistic and passionate people to play with, then your experience will be thereafter. And so I would highly recommend you to consider becoming a member in the NIRTHEART Discord server. It does cost $2 to get access for the first time, but we are really having a great time in there. And if you really love Sinnoh, I do think you will find a good spot in there. I do understand that there are some things that could have been differently with these games, though I think part of minding the gap there is to have some players or friends to play with to really make it a great experience, to make up for the shortcomings of the game. I do agree that it is a lot more difficult of a Pokemon game compared to more recent games. Pokemon has literally become easier and easier with every game since Pokemon X and Y, which is 2013. And so we've almost been in a full decade of Pokemon games only getting easier with every installment. And so, in my opinion, and you can take this for what it's worth, I am very happy about the fact that there are no gimmicks. It is a limited Pokedex. You have a national dex, one of the biggest Pokedexes in all of Pokemon, where just by using Pokemon Brilliant Diamond and Shining Pearl, you have access to almost 500 Pokemon. It's insane. And I don't think people realize how much of a grind that is if you actually go for all the Pokemon. It also excludes the Gen 5 power creep, and that's something that people also don't recognize. It really is a beautiful game competitively. I just wish that there was a bigger emphasis on the game developer's side towards, you know, what happens with their game after they're done. Because as you might have seen, there are a lot of things happening with these games where people are duplicating things and doing a bunch of cheating, and it really just short circuits a lot of the great things about Pokemon. It is a creature collecting game, which means it is a game where you collect creatures. And so if you short circuit the biggest gameplay loop, which is to collect, then you have a problem, because then you remove one of the primary activities in the game. And if you do that a couple more times, then you're just left with a bunch of numbers, and essentially you're just playing chess. And so I think Pokemon can be a lot more than that, and that's what we are trying to do here in the NIRTHEART community. Hello Nirth, I hope you are well. Been watching your videos recently, and they're helpful to listen to while playing. All right, that's amazing, Fuzzy Duck. I hope that you're having a great time with the games. And yeah, I can highly recommend you as well to consider becoming a YouTube member and joining the Discord. That's really where things are happening. There's a lot of great people in there, and we've had a great time so far. And I do suspect that we'll have a continued great time moving forwards. Yo Nirth, if you happen to have any rejects for Rotom laying around, will they be up for trade? That is a good question. Let me say that again. I do not trade outside of my Discord. The reason is I've tried that before, and it's just never a good experience. And so I have decided for myself that I'm just not interested in that. Though I will be giving away the rejects that are 4 IVs. After I'm done with these live streams, I'll just set up a giveaway like message in the Discord. And so that could be something to consider. Outside of that, there are a lot of other great players who are a part of the Discord, and there is a lot of trading in there. It's a proper trading economy. I'm really happy about it. So that is something to consider. Hey, I'm new to breeding and have a 3 perfect IV Ditto. Is that enough to get this Beldum to perfect IVs? Yes. The only thing that you need to do is that you need to get your hands on a Ditto or 2 that have the 2 remaining IVs that you do not have. Unless one of those IVs that you have on your Ditto is special attack, because you do not need special attack on a Beldum. And so if it is the case that your Ditto has either HP, attack, defense, special defense or speed as its perfect IVs, then you just need to get your hands on a single Beldum or Dittos that have those 2 remaining IVs, and then you use power items, which force a particular stat. I don't have any power items yet. They're too expensive, and so I haven't gotten that far yet, but I'll get them at some point. Just hatched a 6 IV analytics Stormy. That's amazing. Congratulations. Luckily, I'm a part of it already. All right. I mean, yeah. If you're in the Discord, then yeah, just hang in there. If you really, really want a Rotom, it's just to tag me in trade. That's fine. Yeah, for Beldum, you don't really need special attack, so you need to get Dittos that have 2 IVs that don't overlap. Yeah, and then you just use power items to force down the particular stat that you're looking for. 100% agree. How dare they make you put in effort versus you getting it handed to you. Yeah, honestly though, at some point I've just decided I'm not going to care what other people do with the game. I'm literally just going to set up my own private friend group, which is NIRTHEART. I'm going to enforce a very sensical set of rules. Do not cheat. And then ask people to be friendly and contribute to the community. And from there, I think we have what it takes to enjoy the game. And then if we can manage to, you know, not let whatever else is happening to them bother us, then I think we can have a good time. Paul says, my other Dittos only have like 1 perfect IV. They are the ones I need, but every time I breed it, it gives only 3 best IVs I already had. All right, I'll fill up my water and then I'll pull up the calculator and I'm going to see how, and I'm going to show you how you can do it in less than 10 minutes. So give me 2 seconds, refill, and then I'll be back. All right, you've had a lot of great questions, and I'm going to answer one of them now. So we're going to hop on over to the calculator. Let's see here. There we go. Let's see. Is this active? It is. Okay. So this part is going to be a little complicated, a little technical, but I'm going to take my time, and I think that you're going to get it. And I think you're going to become a way better breeder if you can piece these things together. This is what most people actually do not understand about breeding. Okay, so you're saying that you have 2 Dittos with the other abilities. Stats. So let's say parent B is the perfect Ditto that you got. Let's see, which stats did you have? Well, I don't know which stats you have, but I'm going to assume it is these 3. Your goal is to get these 5 at some point. And so if your Ditto, let's see here. If your Ditto is 3 perfect IVs and you do not have special defense and speed, what you need to do is that you need to find a way to do the following. You need to get a Beldum that has these 2 perfect IVs so that you can, with your 3 IV Ditto, have a chance of getting to that 5 IV. And so what's going to happen, if you can make it to where you have a 2 IV Beldum that has a perfect special defense and speed, then you're just going to have the snowball rolling for you. Because we can calculate this, we can scroll down, and obviously you're not going to get the perfect right out the gate. But what's interesting here is that you have a 3 IV chance, and 5 out of 6 times you're going to get the 3 IVs that are not special attack. Though you do need the perfect speed and special defense. So actually, you only have a 50% chance of actually getting one of these over here at the same time as these, something like that. But once you do get a better Beldum, then you can just start filling in these. And at some point, you're going to get the 5 IV from using a 3 IV Ditto and a 4 IV Beldum. And then you're really getting some good odds. Though I did say to bookmark, if you can get a 2 IV Beldum, and this is the part that people don't understand. So I don't have a picture of the power items up right now, though I could just try to look for that right now. I don't know if that is a bad idea. Let me see now. We can do power items, Bulbapedia. Okay, here we go. I'm gonna drop this back in. So if you see, we have the power anklet here. Oh, where's my hand? Here we go. Come on, there we go. So we got the power anklet, which will pass down speed, and power band, which will pass down special defense. Now, the trick that you're gonna do in order to make this work is that you're gonna find a single Ditto, which is parent B, that has perfect special defense, okay? What you're gonna do is that you're gonna slap on the item called Power Band, and that will guarantee all offspring to get the parent Pokemon's special defense IV. And so if we do, okay, it's not going to show here, but it is 100% chance. So you only need to hatch a single egg because this is genderless. So you actually don't have to think about gender. Okay, what happens next? You've hatched 1 egg. Well, now you have a Beldum with perfect special defense, and you want a 2 IV Beldum. So you go and find a Ditto with a perfect speed stat, and so you slap the power anklet onto the new Ditto. The Beldum has a perfect special defense stat, and so within 2 eggs, you got yourself the 2 IV Beldum. And then you said, oh yeah, you had a 3 IV Ditto. Well, now see, you're back here to the basics, and you got great odds. Like, this is not going to take you too long. So if you have a single 3 IV Ditto and a couple one-offs here, by the use of power items and this calculator to really manage your odds, make sure you spread out the IVs. It's not that big of a problem. And then you can get to the next step. Well, you have a great community with players that you're playing Pokemon with. And someone happened to have a 4 IV reject of whatever Pokemon you want. They were aiming for 5, but they got a bunch of 4 in the meantime. And so they had a bunch of spares. And now because you went through the process of getting a single 3 IV Ditto, your odds is 1 in 40 eggs of getting a competitive genderless Pokemon. And that is not bad at all. But yeah, I didn't think the power items worked with the Destiny Knot. You don't need the Destiny Knot. That's the point. The power items will guarantee that you can pass down the particular stat that the power band or the power item is associated with. The thing that you're getting confused, Skiggle Stomp, is they don't stack. So you, when breeding, you always have a wild card. And so let's say you have a, let's make an example. I think you'll get it pretty quickly. Let's say, okay, so here's what you want. You got a 5 IV parent, and you got a 6 IV parent. If you assign the, let's see which item it is, to be very specific here, it is the power lens to pass down the special attack. So if you have the power lens and you give it to parent A, then you will guarantee that every single egg, no matter what you do, every single egg will have a perfect special attack. So we can agree on that. But there's always a wild card, and that's going to be one of these 5 stats. And if you then slap the Destiny Knot onto the different parent, then you're going to find some eggs that look like this, some eggs that look like this, some eggs that look like this, because there's always a wild card and they don't stack. But you can combine them, but there's generally no reason to, because typically, unless, like the big case for using power items and Destiny Knot is if you want a 0 speed Pokemon, that is one thing. Like for example, you have a no good speed, and then you can force that through with the power anklet, and then you just level it up to level 100 and use a bottle cap on the remaining stat. Like if that just doesn't work. Like for example, if you're dead stuck on wanting a relaxed, no good Slowbro that is shiny, then you can guarantee the no good by using the power item, slap on a Destiny Knot, but then you have to use bottle caps to fix the remaining stats if you're unlucky, because there's always a wild card. And you also have to mint the nature to make it proper, because you cannot have 3 items. So that's one case. And then the other extreme case is if you want a no good attack stat, no good speed stat, and you want it to be shiny. Because yeah, if it's not shiny, then it's not really a problem. Then you just get the no good, and then you're good. You level up to 100 anyway, because it's going to save you time. Bottle cap it. But let's say you want a... what's a good Pokemon for that? Well, let's just use Slowbro again. If you want a 0 attack IV Slowbro with a relaxed nature and the no good speed, then you'll slap on the power anklet on the one Pokemon, and then the power bracer on the other, so that you have no good, and then you just keep on breeding until you get a really good Pokemon. What am I saying? And then you just keep on breeding until you get the shiny. That's what I was gonna say, because then you know, you accomplish your goal, level up, bottle cap the rest, mint it. But yeah, it's very obscure. It just doesn't stack. Let's see. So like when you breed your one IV Beldum, I don't think you could keep the first IV when you're passing down the second IV. Why not? You just have 2 power items. No Destiny Knot. Destiny Knot does not matter. Only power items. So if you got confused, Giggle Stomp, then I'm sure there are other people who got confused. So I wish I had just the pictures here, and you know what? I'm actually going to do it here right now. So give me 2 seconds. I'm going to add 2 pictures, and then this is going to make a lot of sense for you all. Okay, this is the power anklet. It's not even good enough. Let's see if I do this. I'm just going to set this up live. Give me 2 seconds. Okay, and then I add 2 items here. No, I mean pictures. So no Destiny Knot. Okie dokie. Then we got one of these. Gonna make it, it's too big. Somewhere, something like that. Okay, give me 1 second. I'm gonna add another picture. Okay, and then we have the special. So yeah, it only takes 2 eggs, guys. It's no problem. You just need to manage your statistics. Oh, hey, Rommel, thank you so much. That is extremely kind of you. Oh man, I'm sorry, I barely missed it. I need to add the notifications box onto the other page, because this has been too many times now where you've donated and then it doesn't show up. Let's see if I can copy it over. There we go. Okay, got it. Thank you so much for the $10 donation. How is the breeding going? It's going good. I'm just trying to explain how to breed genderless Pokemon. Okay, so now I've set up a whole scenario for you guys. I think this is going to make a lot of sense. Split second. Okay, I need to... there we go. So many moving things here. Okay, so here is the example. If you have a single Ditto that has a perfect special defense, then what you're going to do, forget this for the time being, you're going to slap the power band on the Ditto, and then parent A is the Beldum. You're going to get Beldum from this combo. So you have Beldum as parent A and Ditto as parent B. 100% of the eggs are going to be perfect special defense because you slapped on the power band. Okay, so parent B has the power band, and so you only hatch one egg. Now, you're going to have the perfect special defense Beldum, and so you move the power band onto the Beldum. You switch the Ditto, because you have a different Ditto with perfect speed. You put the power anklet on that Ditto, and now 100% of your eggs are perfect special defense and perfect speed. So you hatch 2 eggs. You just need the items. Now that you have the 2 perfect IV Beldum, you swap out your Ditto, and now you can slap onto the Destiny Knot. Let's see, we save that Dest, and then we add a picture yet again. And then you slap the Destiny Bond onto one of the parents. We can forget about these for the time being. And you're good to go. Makes sense? So yeah, breeding with Dittos, it's a little complicated. But if you know what you're doing, which you should be if you're a top player, and if you are a top player, then you would be interested in teaching other people how to play the game so that you can up your own competition. Rommel asks, where do I get the Destiny Knot? That's another great question. I'm going to explain it to you very briefly. And so I'm not going to bring up the graphic on screen, but I can explain to you very quickly how this works. So there is a Pokemon. Well, actually, there is a specific location you can go to. I'm pretty sure it's like over here somewhere. You just walk. Yeah, wow. Yet another. Thank you so much for the super chat, Rommel. The Destiny Knot is just here in Route 224. I'm pretty sure it's just laying there, waiting to be picked up. Though the most reliable method that I've come across is just to get a couple pickup Pokemon. After your Pokemon with the pickup ability is level 20 or higher, you have a 1% chance of having the pickup item be the Destiny Knot. And so the way pickup works is that you put it in your party, and I can bring out my hand again. You can see that I do not have a held item. And then when you go into wild battle, you have a 10% chance of having the pickup ability activate. And what it does is that it just gets an item. Let's see here. The Pokemon may pick up the item an opposing Pokemon used during a battle. It may pick up items outside of battle too. And that it may pick up items outside of the battle too is this 10% chance. And so if you have 5 Pokemon with a 10% chance, then you have 5 rolls with 10%, which is not the same as, but it's equivalent of 50% chance. So every other battle or so on average, you're going to get a random item. And 1 in 100 times, that item is going to be a Destiny Knot. Now, if you are in the Discord, as you are, then we do have trading chats for this. And so if I can open my bag here, I'm going to show you how many I have gotten just throughout my gameplay, because I used to pick up a lot. I have 5 Destiny Knots in my bag. And then now that I'm on the item screen, we can just move over here. We're going to see more Destiny Knots here, I think anyway. Oh, I might have just collected all the ones I had. Yeah, well, 5 is plenty enough. And so, yeah, I can actually trade you one if you would need one. There's also a guaranteed Destiny Knot, but it's in the post-game pickup, gets it for you early, which is nice, even if it's rare. I know, yeah. Yeah, you're pretty much guaranteed. Like, if you have 2 to 3 pickup Pokemon in your team throughout your adventure, you're going to get it by the time you're done. Trying to get the perfect Trick Room special attackers are super hard. Yeah. Breeding no good speed can be a challenge, though for the most part, it's not really any different than breeding a perfect stat. And so it's just to keep at it. No good is the same as best, it's just a different slot. And so the real problem is to breed no good Pokemon that are generalists, but there aren't too many of those. There are only 13 Pokemon in the game that needs to be bred using Ditto. And so, yeah, that's a little bit not accurate because it's 13 evolution lines, but it's like 3 evolution lines, like Tyrogue, Rotom, Metagross, and maybe also Starmie, as we have talked about. So, but yeah, I'm glad you got the shiny Meteo. There's also, let's see. But yeah, did my example make sense, Giggle Stomp? You don't need the Destiny Knot at all until you use the high IV Ditto. For anyone breeding, if you need a lot of patience, it took me like 2 days to breed good competitive Pokemon, but for generalists, I would leave it if needed or use bottle caps. That is another option. I mean, leveling up to level 100 takes a while. It takes something like 6 to 8 times as long to get a Pokemon from level 1 to level 50 as level 1 to level 100. And so 6 to 8 times as long, depending on the species. And then also depending on the species, you may have to train certain Pokemon between 1 and 2.5 times, something like that, because there's like a whole chart for experience. But yeah, if you go to the Nirth Explains Pokemon playlist, I have a video explaining levels, which sounds basic, but people don't know about it, and so it's kind of hard to like present the information when people think they know it, but they don't. I just realized that I'm going to have to level an Imposter Ditto to level 100 to hyper train it, so I can use it on my doubles team as a wild card. Oh, that's actually not necessary. What you can do instead is to try to get a Ditto chain to 19, and then you... Well, yeah. Well, actually, never mind. I was about to give you a strategy, but I don't think that works. I mean, if you are interested, you could get a Ditto chain to 20, reset until you get a, you know, the 20th encounter of Ditto to be the big grass, because that's easy. But then you have a 1 in 6 chance of that actually being the perfect HP, and so maybe you want to go all the way to, you know, well, in a sense, you can get both the 20th and the 30th, and potentially also the 40th, if you just keep at it. And so, yeah, I mean, you only need perfect HP, and so, yeah, for Ditto, don't you just need good HP? Yeah, but even getting good HP Ditto takes a while. I thought he copied stats except HP. It does, and so, yeah, bottle cap the HP is possible, but do not bottle cap anything else, and so I think that's the strategy there. I'll try and keep it in mind. At this point, I have the Ancestry and Special Attack Ditto. It might come in handy soon if I need to breed a Metagross, because my 3 IV doesn't have an attack stat. Yeah, well, I mean, for any... you will, at some point, have to use that trick if you want to save some time. because the thing is, if you don't have a 3 IV Ditto for all of the natures, then at some point you're going to run short in terms of wanting to breed. Well, you have an Adamant Metagross, but you want the Jolly, and no one else has bred the Jolly yet, and so you kind of have to start from scratch. And then you kind of have to figure out, well, what do you do about that? So you then just bounce around with the 1 and 2 IVs, and then figure out the nature, and then you bounce back to the 3 IV Ditto, and you go from there. Getting a 1 IV HP Ditto would be so much easier than getting a Ditto to level 100. I'm not quite sure about that. I mean, oh, hang on. Big brain. No. I thought I figured it out, because obviously 1 in 32 Dittos will have the best HP, but 1 in 32 Dittos won't be Imposter. So that's the deal. You would have to reset for an Imposter Ditto every step of the chain. And so yeah, I'm actually not quite sure if... Because the thing is, you can also catch a level 60 Ditto in the Grand Underground. That may actually be the fastest method. Literally just slap a Lucky Egg on it and just keep going. I know it's just 1, but it's still a 1 in 6 chance, you know? Until you get to that 20 chain. Because you do need to reset for the hidden ability, and that takes a while. 1 IV is at a 20 chain, but you also get them a ton besides 20. That is correct, but you also have to reset for the hidden ability, which is Imposter. And that is a 1 in 28 chance. So if you're gonna reset your thing on average 28 times every Ditto encounter, you're talking like hundreds and hundreds of encounters, and that at that point, I actually wonder if just going with the level 60 Ditto that you catch in the Grand Underground, level to 100, because you have other Pokemon that you need to level up anyway, potentially. And the other thing with Ditto is that you only need 1. Like, natures, and you only need 1 Ditto. Because you cannot do anything with Ditto except having the perfect HP and slap a Choice Scarf on it. And, like, there's nothing else to Ditto. So once you have a single Ditto with Imposter, with a perfect HP, you're good to go. And so, yeah, I actually think the level 60 Ditto strategy is the best. But, I mean, if you want to just beat me to it, that's fine. But I just wonder, like, if you want to... The thing is, you have a 1 in 32 chance of catching a Ditto with a perfect HP. 1 in 28 times. So you're going to do a lot. Our ability patch, the 50.1. Yeah, but you need... Yeah, it's... Some of those things can be incredibly hard to manage. I found it worth catching Dittos underground, and you will eventually have the trainer animation before the battle, which means it is at least 2 IV. Do this until you have a nice spread of stats. That is a good idea, actually. I wonder if the statue effects have an impact on IVs of the particular stat too, because I've found that there are way too many Pokemon that show up like this Pokemon has 2 perfect stats. So I wonder if there's something undiscovered there or something that we're not aware of. I spent like 100 minutes. Oh my god. Yeah. Brilliant Diamond Shining Pearl be like that. Oh, right. Because you cannot get hidden ability Ditto in the Grand Underground. I done goofed. So actually you do have to catch... scratch that. Because you do not want to waste an ability patch on that. Yeah, okay, so you do have to catch the Ditto in Route 2018. Or 218, rather. 2018. Well, level 28 is not that far off from level 50. It's just kind of 1/3 of the way there. It's a tough one, man. I mean, to some extent, you probably just want to grind Dittos for the sake of having breeding Dittos, and then eventually you're going to get to that level 40 chain, and at that point you can try to reset for a hidden ability one, or the 30 chain, or the 20, and then just cross your fingers, man. Because then if you can make it to 40 chain, then you have a really good chance of, you know, if you reset for the hidden ability, then you have a really good chance. Actually, take that back. I think you're right about the fact that you can just reset the 20, 30, and 40. Yeah. Did you know if you move diagonal, you can register twice as many steps in less time? It's not actually twice. It is faster if you go in a big circle like this. You can get like the what is it called? Like when you change 180 or like 160, something like that, then you do get a lot more steps. But it's actually closer to a 30% boost, not twice. And so I value your guys. You know, how should I put it? I personally get dizzy from doing it, and I suppose that is the same for you. And so, given that we have... Oh, I've been biking around, not hatching anything. It's a bad idea. Yeah, oops. Well, there we go. Hey, we got our first 5 IV Rotom. That's amazing. Can put that down here so we have a good track of the number of Rotoms we get. Oh, this one's 4 IV. All right. There we go. Nah, and that's what we got this time. Okay, that's fair. Let me see now. I want to make sure I don't release the wrong one. Hyper training seems like the most efficient way. Yeah. Yeah, I think so. Though at the same time, if you are going for Dittos for breeding, you probably can just do that strategically and get across one. So I think, yeah, probably just catching a... If you specifically want the Ditto, reset for the hidden ability. And then if you are going for Dittos anyway, then you can really just do it. Who's your favorite Pokemon and type? My favorite type is flying. I messed up. There we go. The calculator told me 1 in 5, 4 IV, 1 in 20, 5 IV. Oh, that's what you were talking about earlier with the 4 IVs. I was like, the Ditto's 3 IV. What are you talking about? But obviously, yes. So 1 in 5 Rotoms will have 4 IVs, and 1 in 20 will have 5. Right, yes, that's what I got too. So the 4 IV eggs should be flowing too. I know, yes, let's go. I hope that Pokemon Home comes out soon so I can transfer my Japanese Ditto from Virtual Console. Yeah, I mean, that's one way to go about it. Though, yet again, you don't really need a Ditto in these games for Pokemon outside the Generalists. Now, if you want a strategy for breeding Pokemon using the Masuda method, when Pokemon Home comes out, I'm going to explain exactly all the steps involved. I'm going to have some live streams specifically on it, and it's going to blow your mind. Because if you have gone through the process of completing your Pokemon Ancestry, this is going to be your treat at the end. Because you probably have a couple Pokemon that have 6 IVs, both male and female. So for example, well, my Togepi is an exceptional case, but I can just give you a brief overview here. So I have the Ancestry here, and we can see, like for example, let's see. Yeah. So for example, I have the Trapinch here. The female is 6 IVs, and the male is 6 IVs. What this means is that I have a wild card, determining whether or not my offspring will be 6 IVs as well if I slap a Destiny Knot onto these Pokemon, which means I have a 1 in 32 chance of hatching another 6 IV Pokemon. Trapinch is in the Bug egg group and in the Dragon egg group, and that means that if I send these over using Pokemon Home, I can just send them from this save file into Pokemon Home into a separate save file that is in Japanese on my Switch and start breeding using these ones. Then I have a 1 in 32 chance of hatching a 6 IV Japanese Trapinch. And if I keep going, at some point I'll get a 6 IV male Trapinch that is Japanese. I can bring that back into my English save file. And now I have a 6 IV Pokemon that is ready to be used for Masuda method. And so that's how you go about it. There's a lot, there's at least one player in the Discord playing in Spanish. You could probably trade him some things in Spanish if you're crazy about Chinese. Yeah, that's another great option. I'm very curious to see what they're going to do with Brilliant Diamond Shining Pearl, to be honest, because there are some features that they said they were going to do, but that haven't happened. Like, for example, the multiplayer Union rooms and global rooms. Pretty sure that was promised anyway. It would be rather strange if they make such a massive room there and then just never allow other people to, you know, connect more so than just 2 people. I wonder if they're just going to gather a bunch of things and have like an epic Pokemon Brilliant Diamond Shining Pearl trailer with the associated update. Like, for example, the access to Darkrai and Shaman is not possible. Deoxys has to happen at some point. And maybe even Arceus. And then there's some locations in the game that are a little odd. Like, for example, if you go into the Pokemon Center and head over here. Oh, the Pokemon Center. Nostalgic. If you talk to this lady, she will say, "I'm so sorry, the Coliseum with capital C isn't ready yet." Now, what is the Coliseum? I have no idea, but I want to know. And so that is something that is just there, and it is not explained to us. And so that is something that I want to know. Another thing is if you fly on over to Jubilife City, there is... Oh, actually, I don't have to fly. It's the same deal. There's a thing in Jubilife called the GWS. Maybe it's the Global Wonder Trade Service. But typically, the Global Wonder Trade is the GWT and not the GWS. So I don't know what's going to go and happen with that. But yeah, so it's the Union rooms supporting more than 2 players in the global Union rooms. It's the Pokemon Coliseum, or the Coliseum rather, that is unfinished. What if the Coliseum is like the battle spot? That would be amazing. I mean, part of me wonders still if there is going to be like some DLC for this game at some point. Because, I mean, it could happen. I don't know if I would like it. I would welcome it. But there might have... like, for example, if they just come out in March and they say like, "Hello guys, we have an announcement. The Pokemon Coliseum is now the online way for you to really connect with people in Brilliant Diamond Shining Pearl and play competitively. There's a whole ladder system. And oh, by the way, you can take the boat somewhere to some island and you get some experience and you suddenly can Mega Evolve all the Pokemon and then it's just a whole thing." I don't know if I would be into that. I think it could be interesting, but I think we would need like a Mega and a non-Mega metagame at that point. Because I prefer the just non-gimmick, raw Pokemon experience that is in these games without the Gen 5 power creep. And so, I don't know. But yeah, I do suspect at some point that they will give access to Shaman, Darkrai, maybe some of the other mythicals that we don't already have. The Coliseum, the GWS, and yeah, that's it. Oh, also, yeah, with that trailer, I would also suspect them to give a very detailed overview on just how Home interacts with all the games, because now it's starting to get a little complicated, and people don't seem to understand the whole thing with Pokemon Home and the badges that your Pokemon has. Like, for example, you can catch Pokemon in Let's Go, send it to Home. Oi, I just slapped off that. I hope that didn't make a big sound. What was I saying? Yeah, so with Pokemon Home, you can catch Pokemon in Let's Go Pikachu and Eevee. You can store them at home, send them to Sword and Shield. But if you have sent a Pokemon to Sword and Shield that originally was from Let's Go, and you put it back in Home, then you can now put it back in Let's Go Pikachu and Eevee, because their compatibility was edited upon that, transfer. And so I am curious to see if they allow transfers from Sword and Shield into Brilliant Diamond and Shining Pearl. That would really surprise me, honestly. Like, I feel at that point, I just don't understand the difficulty in Brilliant Diamond and Shining Pearl. If they're just going to let the Flood Stream from Sword and Shield just come and wall up everything that we've been working on for weeks now. So, I don't know. What are you guys' thoughts on that? Like, if you're unfamiliar, there was a 6 IV Ditto event, or it was 5 guaranteed IVs, but at that point you just roll the dice and eventually you'll find a good ones, or a couple good ones. Yeah, that would be kind of crazy if they just let in all the Dittos and all the hidden abilities and everything, and then meanwhile, if you want to do everything native in Brilliant Diamond Shining Pearl, then you just get slapped. I mean, depending on what you want to do with the Rotom, given that it is bold, it's not impossible that even a non-perfect special defense could be okay. If you just don't want to breed the genderless. Or maybe you can even just level it up to level 100 and bottle cap it or something. Yeah, I have enough eggs for the time being. So I'm gonna just keep on biking. Yeah, Gus says, what if the Coliseum is like the battle spot? I think that'd be really cool. It would be fun to have a ladder in these games, even if everyone else outside of NIRTHEART are cheating. It would be fun. Because I think no matter what, at the very least, we can have a just 24/7 access to more battles, and more battles is good. And we could really just sharpen our teeth and get really good. I have a goal that I want to get as good in competitive Pokemon in these games as possible. And so an official ladder could be fun, because then at that point we could in NIRTHEART be like, hey, what's your current rating and how come you're so far up, and do you have any feedback on what I could do to get my rank different, and then we could discuss the various changes in the metagame and so on. But yeah, maybe we will have to wait with that until whatever Pokemon does next. I felt fairly torn on that whole thing for a couple weeks now, but I think I've just come to realize that it really is the case that you have as fun with the games as the average person in your friend group, and so I think if we're able to just establish a proper culture in NIRTHEART, and I can continue to apply filters on who actually decides on joining us, then maybe we can carry that good culture into the future. I'm personally going to stick with Brilliant Diamond Shining Pearl for a long time. Like, I love Sinnoh. I've been waiting for this game for 10 years. And so it's always going to be there in parallel. Then they just need to give hackers Pokemon Crown Fiesta Stadium if they don't brick them. Let them draft up whatever Pokemon and fight and leave us alone. I agree. I think it is an interesting conundrum because to some extent it could be cool with like Pokemon Battle Revolution 2, which I think is not impossible that they will announce on Pokemon Day this year. The reason being that Pokemon Sword and Shield are still the official competitive games for Pokemon in 2022. What that means is that it was the official games in 2020 and in 2021, and it's now the official games in 2022. And if nothing happens this year, it will be the competitive games in 2024 as well. And so, no, I mean 2023. So you have 20, 21, 22, and 23. And that would be incredibly odd for Pokemon to have a pair of games last that long. I don't remember specifically all the games in the past, but I'm pretty sure Pokemon X and Y was a single year. Omega Ruby and Alpha Sapphire was 2 years. I think Sun and Moon was 1 year. Ultra Sun, Ultra Moon was 2 years. And then now Sword and Shield will be 3. And I don't know. Is it going to be 4 years to Sword and Shield when the last update to the game was in November of 2020? I don't know. So what I'm left with is there has to be an announcement soon of whatever game will carry the competitive into 2023, so next year. And that has to happen soon, because if it is a game that's going to take over Sword and Shield, it would be a pretty big announcement, you know? Makes sense? So I think Pokemon Day is going to be something to pay attention to. At the very least, if it is an anticlimactic Pokemon Day, then I don't know what to think. Because then, I mean, they could really have Pokemon Legends in January, have that just into February, and then we kind of move on. That's my hope. I hope that Pokemon Legends is developed by the smaller team at Game Freak, and that it literally is a tech demo that is tried, where they have tried to kind of wrap it into something that they could market. But I just find it hard to believe that Pokemon as a franchise has been going down like decade after decade with a whole bunch of great titles in its backpack. And like, I have enjoyed every single Pokemon game main series at some point up until now. So I've played every single game in the main series franchise. I'm not going to get Legends. And so I don't understand why it would be the case that the main staff at Game Freak would be the ones developing Legends, where they can't even get the logo right. Yes, indeed. I would love it if Game Freak just denies all online access to any game, or... Yeah, I agree. I think they should just brick people. But they really had the perfect chance. Monday morning, on the first new week after the release of Pokemon Brilliant Diamond Shining Pearl, they could have literally just done a soft block on everyone who has a 6 IV shiny Ditto, because in worst case scenario, they brick one person's system who actually got it legitimately. And yeah, I don't know. Feel a little torn about that. Hey Jade, what's up? Okay, we got another batch of Rotoms here. Let's see. Oh, that's close. But I suppose it's going to be close every 1 in 5, so I should probably stop saying that. But yeah, do you guys follow that thought process? Like, Sword and Shield is the official competitive games currently, and it's been the official competitive games in 2020, 2021, and it's now going to be the official games of 2022 as well. And so if we are getting a different set of official competitive games for 2023, then there has to be a game this year that overtakes Sword and Shield. And for a game to overtake Sword and Shield, then it has to be a pretty big title, unless it is Pokemon Battle Revolution 2, which they can kind of just announce out of nowhere, where the November release is not as important. But yes, I really think that we should look out for Pokemon Day in February, the 27th of February. And I think that we are either getting Pokemon Battle Revolution 2, Generation 9, maybe even Let's Go Johto. That could be interesting if they tie in the competitive scene with Let's Go Johto somehow. Pokemon Let's Go Pikachu and Eevee sold well, and they did say that they would consider making Let's Go Johto if those games did sell well, which they did. And so it's not impossible that Let's Go Johto comes out this November. That would be hype. Like, I feel like in terms of Pokemon, that is the only other game that I can think about currently that really would excite me, even with the massive cheating that's going on. Outside of just playing Pokemon Brilliant Diamond, Shining Pearl, of course. I'm gonna wait until people play Legends so I don't have to waste my money. Yeah. Beware. That game is not what it looks like. Gen 9 has gotta be released this November 22. Thoughts? It is not impossible. I mean, like, what is next for Pokemon? That's what I'm wondering. Is it really the case that Legends Arceus is a new era for Pokemon? Or is there something fishy in the way that this game is presented? I just cannot believe how that game would be the product of the core development team at Game Freak. Like, I just... that makes no sense to me. Given how beautiful Sword and Shield was, and how well they nailed Let's Go Pikachu and Eevee, and even to some extent Ultra Sun, Ultra Moon, it was just literally hardware issues that kept that from really having some good, like... I don't know what the name for this is, but like... I did not appreciate the lag in Pokemon Ultra Sun, Ultra Moon, and so that was kind of what broke it for me. You could not play a doubles match with it just being like frame rate 4 per second, and I'm not one to complain much about graphics, but in 2020, or well, that was 2017. In 2017, I feel like we can do better than 4 frames a second, folks. What happened with Legends? Well, first of all, they plagiarized the opening shot of not Pokemon, but the Legend of Zelda Breath of the Wild. And the one thing that people associate with Breath of the Wild is open world. And they have kind of admitted later on that it is not open world. My biggest problem with the game is that it does not have multiplayer. What's the point? If it's a new era main series Pokemon game, at the very least they should carry on what the franchise has been for 25 years, which is trading and battling. And so that's my problem with it, and the reason why I won't get it. It's literally a spin-off game. I know a lot of people said that with Let's Go Pikachu and Eevee too, but this one's different because there is no multiplayer. But yeah, I don't have to keep talking about Legends. If it looks interesting to you, I would recommend you to hold on to your money for just a week or two and see people be disappointed. And then, I mean, if it is a great experience, you might as well just hop back in later. But yeah, I wish Brilliant Diamond Shining Pearl had a ranked system. I'm not a fan of Dynamax at all. Well, welcome to the club, Ace of Diamonds. The NIRTHEART Discord server is pretty good in that sense, where at the very least we have a place to go. If you are passionate about Pokemon and have a strict stance against cheating, then NIRTHEART is the place for you. Because the way it is set up there, you can tag a specific role that is opt-in that will notify you when there are other people that want to play. But yeah, I hope that the Coliseum is a ladder for these games, because I've also been a little tired of the gimmicks. I think Mega Evolutions are fine, honestly, because you give up the item slot. And at the very least, you can, like, agree with your opponent to have a non-Mega format. Well, it's kind of odd to say that you're going to have a non-Mega, like non-Dynamax meta, because the button is really literally there. While if you're a non-Mega meta game, then you just don't equip the item. But the competitive part of Sword and Shield was good. Oh yeah. I mean, I enjoyed it. Though I prefer the non-gimmicky one. The Z moves were okay too, in my opinion. I didn't like them, but I mean, they felt too much like just a random hyper beam that you just get out of nowhere. And there was no predictability in terms of which Pokemon would have the crystal and what move they would use and all that. And so I was not a fan. Hard to be competitive in Sword and Shield when everyone is using hacked gen Pokemon, even if they got them in trades. Yeah, I agree. I mean, it's not fun if you know that. For example, these Rotom, like, what are we doing right here? For one, we're playing the games properly. We're hanging out, chatting about the game and everything. But to get the perfect Rotom, like, even with the best resources that we have at our disposal, it'll take us an hour to hatch a single Rotom. Lord Major Cone says, also, Let's Go Pikachu and Eevee was kind of a throwback to Yellow, which was nostalgic for a lot of people, and they also made it cool and fun for younger people. I agree. Like, it literally is the Yellow remake, and so I don't see why people have a problem with it. It is a beautiful game. It's very polished. Oh yeah, we have enough eggs. Let's see now. I think I'm going to do one more batch, and then good for the night. Let's see now. That was 3. Also 3. That one's 4. Do you agree with most people hating on Nirth? I don't know what that means. I don't think I have a hate squad, so I don't think you're talking about me. Let's see, okay. So we've got another 4 Ivy here. Armano says, I'm losing my mind trying to chain these Dittos. I can't get a Ditto with more than 1 perfect Ivy. My biggest chain are 23 and 19, and in that time I've caught 2 shiny Dittos. It's just so dumb. I mean, I too would have appreciated if they made a skill-based system and not a RNG system with a Pokeradar where if you do everything correctly, you still just lose because the game wants you to. And so that is a little frustrating. But yeah, it is what it is. Also, the problem with Let's Go is the premise that it's built on and what it means. Legends is multiplayer. Really? Now is it? Tell me. I mean, if it is, then that would be cool. Let me see now. I mean, it says single player. Sword and Shield says single player and multiplayer. Well, I don't know. I would need a source on that, but as far as I know, Legends is single player. No battling. Yeah, but I don't think it's even trades. No, but I'm pretty sure they said it was single player. Yeah, but I don't think it's even trade. I wonder if the trade feature is in Pokemon Home. Some sites say it's co-op. Yeah, we'll see. But still, no competitive battles. Pokemon Legends Arceus is playable by up to 2 players. Read on to learn about all online and multiplayer features such as trading and Pokemon Home if Nintendo Switch. Alright, what's the point in trading in a single player game? It's a stupid feature. It should have been cut when they cut battles. Well, obviously they want to accommodate all the cheaters. But yeah, I think we should give the last couple of minutes here of the live stream better spin. It is easy to get a little discouraged sometimes, but let's keep at it. We got 1-5 IV Rotom in this live stream, and then tomorrow I'm hoping that we can get a bunch more. We need 3 more. I have one for Greaseball, I need one for you Giggle Stomp, one for Dr. Fail, and one for Rommel, and I already have one for myself. And so after that I'll have a bunch of 4 IV Rotom, and I'll be giving those away in the Discord. I literally have a box now of them. I don't need more eggs. But yeah, it is 1 in 20 chance, which means, oh, can we do some quick maths here at the end? It's 2,500 steps to hatch a single egg, but you can do 5 at a time. So on average, it is 500 steps, which is, well, 1.5 time up and down. We can also use the more accurate step counter. You can do approximately 700 steps per minute if you go up and down like me. And then, yeah, 2,800. So 4 minutes per 5 eggs, which means it should take 16 minutes on average to get a 5 IV. So I don't know what I'm doing wrong here, but I can also give one 5 IV away, all right? Oh my god, I finally got my 6 IV male Meryl. Let's go. Congratulations on making another great step in the Pokemon ancestry, Dr. Fail. Only have one though. You should probably keep it, Bart. We can help people out with 4 IV Rotoms, and then they can go for the 5 IV ones themselves. At least now in the beginning, like, it's nice to have 2 different Rotom sets. Particularly when you can have literally 2 different Rotom forms with that single Pokemon. So something to consider. I think you should try Rotom Heat too at some point. I, for one, look forward to that because it's still got a bunch of resistances. There are some Pokemon you do need to be careful of, but for the most part, it's pretty good. Did take a few breaks to do the breeding examples. I think you got it, just got to keep writing. Right, yeah. I did do some breeding for a Togepi today, and so I shuffled around some of the boxes, but I haven't hatched any eggs outside of the live stream, so now I'm going to keep that. Well, you know, after sleep. Yeah. Yes, I'll be seeing you guys tomorrow at the same time, and I'll be breeding more Rotoms then. And then if you've enjoyed this live stream, you can always subscribe and come back later. I try to live stream at the same time, Monday, Tuesday, Thursday, and Wednesday. That was not the correct order, but at 7 p.m. Norwegian time. Bulky Rotom Heat is fun too. I know. Like fire types and, you know, I have to look this up again. Let me see. Rotom. I think it's just rock. Let's see. Rotom Heat. Oh, water too. Yeah. So you have to be careful with rock types and water, and then that random like Rampardos with a mold breaker, so that it can hit you with a 4-time ground. Last batch, good luck. Yeah, this is the last batch of the live stream, and then we'll hope for some better odds tomorrow. Okay, let's take a look at these Rotoms. We still got a couple more. Yeah, rock and water. And then it got that 4 times weakness to ground. You might as well make yourself a few timid Rotoms before you give the Ditto back, unless you're Rotomed out for a few days. No, actually, I don't really mind the 1 in 38 odds. It's just fine. It's more, now that I'm mass breeding Rotom, I have 4 Rotoms on the way here that are 5 IVs, then yeah, it's greatly appreciated. It cuts the time in half, but yeah, 1 in 38. Like, I have done a lot of breeding my days, and while I do really appreciate the fact that you lend me this Ditto, I don't really mind using the 2 IV one, and at some point I'm just going to be very happy with having my own 3 IV Ditto. Okay, not a single one. That's fine. Can go ahead and mark this one. That is out. Same with this. Okay, we got one this time. Okay. Yeah, but the thing with the timid one is that you gave me a perfect one already. See? I have a timid 5 IV Rotom that you gave me, so I'm all set. Okay, so I'm actually going to be a little bit busy tomorrow. So I think actually the next time I play now will be tomorrow in the live stream. So with that said, I hope you have had a good time during this live stream. I had a session there in the middle, as Gigglestomp pointed out, where I really went over some useful breeding strategies, since I hope those were helpful. It is something that is not particularly intuitive, but can really help you out in terms of managing your probabilities, because that's what breeding is all about. You want to sort things in the proper order so that you have a proper approach to actually getting to where you want in a reasonable amount of time. Thanks for the stream, Nirth. See you later this week. Yeah, see you tomorrow. I hope that you had a good time watching, and thank you so much for letting me borrow your Ditto. But yeah, this was quite a fun live stream. Hope you guys had fun as well. And I'll talk to you again tomorrow. Have a good one, everyone.